welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review and showing you how I use as many products as I could have possibly tried from the brand Essence Makeup. I got a lot of things to talk about and show you here, so we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, so I'm kind of just gonna go in the order of how I do my face, talking about all the products that I've tried out and my thoughts and how I use them and make them work for me. And I'll show you swatches and me applying them as well. So first things first, actually, I want to talk about my nails. I did try out, this is the Essence Shine Last and Go Gel Nail Polish. This particular shade is Love Me Like You Do. It's like a mauve-y, purpley, pinky tone. Kind of going with the whole vibe of the makeup today. But I really like it. This is 2 coats, but it's pretty opaque after one, to be honest. It does chip kind of easily. But with a top coat on top, you're fine and good to go. It dries super fast, so, and I need that because if I paint my own nails, I am destined to mess it up the moment I put it on. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, if it's just me. But I apply a layer of nail polish, and then I forget that it's drying, and it's all messed up. All the hard work gone. The next product we're going to talk about is the Fresh and Fit Awake Primer. This is supposed to give you a healthy glow and pore minimizing effect. I actually really love this primer. It feels really nice and hydrating on the skin. I think it does do a good job of luminizing and filling in the pores. It doesn't make it like completely filled in, but it does a really good job, especially for the price. So I'm going to definitely keep using this. The foundation I tried out, which that's one thing that I think Essence is lacking, is they don't really have a lot of foundation options, nor do they have a lot of shades. So please excuse how dark this is. You can see that it blends out really easily and quickly. It's not the most full coverage, it's very light to medium coverage, but it's the Soft Touch Mousse Makeup Matte, and I use the shade Matte Honey, which stupid me should have known that shade 3 out of like 5 would not be light enough for me. I also tested out the Camouflage Matte Concealer. I use the shade Light Rose number 10. This is pretty good coverage and it does blend out pretty easily. My only issue with this is that if you don't blend it out immediately under your eyes, it kind of burns. Now, I don't know if that's just on me or if anyone else has had this issue, so let me know in the comments if you have, or if maybe it's just the way this reacts with my skin. Because I do like the way it looks in the end, and it is a good price. It just, I don't like the way it feels on my under eye. I don't really think anyone wants their under eyes to feel like they're burning. Just saying. Next is the All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This is the waterproof one. This will give you flashback, just a heads up, because it's pure white. It has talc in it, so it's gonna give you flashback. I don't know how well the waterproofing is because it's winter, so I'm not really testing that out right now. This powder's not bad. It's not anything amazing either. I mean, it does the job, but I prefer to go for powders that aren't gonna give me flashback because I don't really want to worry about, oh, am I wearing this in the day, to the night, or so that's just my difference. Next, I'm going in with the Brighten Up Banana Powder. I actually love this powder. It's cheap and it really gives a great brightening effect, especially if you're my skin tone or maybe a little bit darker or a little bit lighter. But it's just your basic banana yellow powder. It's very soft. It definitely mattifies and definitely brightens under the eyes. I have really been enjoying this and I'm definitely gonna keep using it. Sorry if it seems like I'm going through this really fast. I just don't want this video to be a million years long. But I wanted to make sure I let you guys know all my thoughts. And touch base with everything. Alright, I tried out 2 of their bronzers. The Luminizing Matte Bronzer, the one for lighter skin, obviously. And then I also tried out the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. I like both of these bronzers. They're just, you know, basic good bronzers. I don't really notice the luminizing one to be super luminous. It's kind of more satin finish, and then the matte one is definitely a matte finish. So just keep that in mind if you're going for more of a like glowy bronzer. I don't think this is going to be what you're looking for, but if you want more of just like a nice sheen or satin bronzer, then this would be a good match for you. And then I do like the matte bronzing one as well. They both blend out very easily and just give yourself a nice little tanner look, I guess. I also tried out the Essence Contouring Duo palette. This shade right here, the under eye shade, is too dark for me, so I haven't really used it, so I can't really speak to this one too much. It's too dark for me, so it doesn't really do the under eye highlight effect it's supposed to, but I do like this shade. It's just a good matte, cool toned contouring shade, and I really prefer something nice and cool toned to contour the cheeks and the nose. I did test out 3 of their blush formulas. The first being the Matte Touch Blush. This is in the shade Berry Me Up. I really like this shade. It's very, very pinky. It's a very pigmented blush. Definitely high quality. It's very soft. I'll insert some swatches of each of the blushes. I also tried out the Mosaic blush. This is the shade All You Need Is Pink. Again, this one's a little bit more, I wouldn't say it's luminous or matte. It's like a satin matte, if that makes any sense at all. It's not super satin, but it's not super matte, but it's definitely not luminous, if that makes any sense at all. But this shade is more of a coralish, pinkish, shadish. My favorite blush though is their Satin Touch blush. I love this blush and this shade. This is the shade Satin Love. This gives the cheeks like a nice satin sheen blush to it. So if you're going for something that's not overly glowy but not matte either, you will love this blush. I mean, it's cheap, it's soft, it's high quality, the pigment's there. Unless you're someone who doesn't like overly pigmented blushes. I personally don't care, I just have to know if I need to go in with a lighter hand or if I have to build it up. All of these blushes definitely don't go in with a heavy hand, because then it's just going to be a lot all at once. I also tested out the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, which I know is something I believe that's been talked about a lot on YouTube. It's a really nice, just like lit from within kind of type highlight. This is in the shade Be My Highlight. This one's kind of more of a tan gold. It's a little bit dark for me, but you can still see the nice highlight that you get from it, but it is very soft. I think once you get past the top layer, it comes out even more of a highlight. But this definitely isn't going to be like, if you're looking for that like ba-bam, super intense highlight, this is not the highlight you're looking for. If you're looking for like a subtle, like you turn your cheek and or like just kind of that lit from within look, then this will be the highlight for you. I also tried out from their holiday collection the From Santa with Love Base and Body Highlight in the shade Let It Glow. I really like this. It's a very unique formula. Like, this is very soft, and like you can see, it's kind of like not moussey or jelly, but like kind of a mixture. Like you can move it around like the I have bunches. It's very soft, but it's definitely more like a glittery highlight. It's kind of like a wet glitter highlight look. I have this on the top of my cheekbones today, and then on the tip of my nose and Cupid's bow. But like, I really like it. I think it's great for the holidays if you want to go for something a little more fun and glittery and just brighter for the holidays. I definitely think it was a good idea to come out in a holiday collection, and I really enjoy it. It's not your average highlight, but it's really nice for just accenting the tops of the cheekbones or maybe something a little more glittery for the holidays. As far as eyebrow products go, I tested out the Super Last 24 Hour Eyebrow Pomade Pencil Waterproof in the shade 20 Brown. I like this a lot. It's really creamy. It glides on pretty easily. It was a little weird to use at first, but once I started like using it consistently, it's really creamy. It kind of blends out really easily. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of this like weird little brush thing that they have on the end of it. I'm not really sure if I'm using it right, to be honest. I prefer a spoolie on the end, but as far as the actual product itself goes, I really like it. Blends out super fast and easy, and get a nice brow with it. Tested out the Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara. This is in the shade Brownie Brows. I didn't use this today because it's definitely not my kind of product. I do like eyebrow gels, but this particular one has fibers in it. And I don't tend to go for ones with fibers in it because I already have, like, at least in my opinion, as thick of brows as I want. Like, I don't really want to add any more thickness. I just like to fill them in and make them look a little bit more bold and structured, I guess, if that's what I'm going for. I don't know, I just like to fill them in and give them a little more color rather than add more hairs, if that makes sense. But if you're someone who really wants fibers, like when you open this up, you can, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but you can see the fibers on it, like when you pull it out. So it definitely does help with that, if that's the type of product that you're going for. All right, let's talk about my favorite products to use, eyeshadow. So in today's look, I used the From Santa with Love palette. It's funny because it's called the From Santa with Love eyeshadow palette, and then on the back it says this is the shade Express Delivery from the North Pole. I don't know if they mean that to be a shade or if it's just something cute on the back. I don't know. But it's basically this cute little envelope palette with a lot of like mauve-y, pinky, purple shades. You got some mattes, some shimmers, and then some glitters. If you're interested in this palette, just a couple things to know. I like the mattes a lot. The mattes work really well. They're pretty pigmented. They blend out nicely. Some of them are softer than others. I don't know if that's just my palette or if that's how they all are. Like this purple one is definitely a little bit like drier and not as soft as the others, but it still is pigmented and you can get a nice look out of it. These three right here are shimmers. They're not super shimmery, they're kind of more of like a satin shimmer. So don't really go into it thinking this is gonna be that like Bam shimmer shade that you might see in other palettes. This is gonna be more of like a satin shimmer. And then these two right here are actually pressed glitters, I believe. Like that is straight glitter. And I like to use it like on top of a matte shade, as I did here in today's look. I really like these. They take some getting used to. They kind of remind me of the ones from the Huda Beauty palettes that she has, like they're pressed glitters. They definitely work a lot better with using your finger rather than a brush, in my opinion. That's how I found to use them, but I mean, it's a good palette, especially for the price, as long as you're willing to, you know, work with them, blend them out, and definitely get used to the way that they work. Also tried out the Crystal Iced palette, and I absolutely actually love this eyeshadow palette, especially this bottom half. This bottom half, I mean, these mattes they're colorful, they're bright, they are beautiful, they blend out great. I love these shimmer shades, they're nice and vibrant. I have no complaints about this palette, and I've been using it a lot, and it's quite a good price point as well. So I also tried the Melted Chrome eyeshadow. This is a single shadow in the shade Steal the Look. I really should have used this in my look today because this shadow is so beautiful. I really want to try other shades of this because you'll see in the swatches one swipe and it's just so metallic, so vibrant, so pigmented, so soft, and I absolutely love it. I really want to try more shades of this. For eyeliner, I tried out the Essence Superfine Eyeliner Pen Waterproof. This is an interesting product because it is a super fine tip, as you'll see as I'm applying it. But I don't know if it's because mine is starting to dry out or what, but as I've been testing it out, like, I don't get as much product off the tip. I kind of have to turn it to the side. You'll see how I kind of have to like turn it while I'm applying it to get it to go completely black. I mean, it is very black and matte, so I like the actual product that comes out of it. It's just a little bit difficult to apply, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know if that's because mine is starting to dry out because I've been testing it out for a little bit, or if that's just the pen, because I've kind of had this problem since I opened it, but I don't know. I also tested out the long-lasting eye pencil in Black Fever. This is very creamy, very pigmented. It's just your basic black eyeliner, and it's definitely a good one to try out. It's supposed to be 18-hour and waterproof, and from what I've tested out so far, it is pretty long-lasting. I haven't really seen it budge too much on my waterline or my tight lining. I am someone who likes to use a nude liner on the waterline to make my eyes look a little bit brighter and more awake, and this is the Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil Waterproof 16-hour wear in the shade Silky Nude. This is very creamy. I really like this. Now this combo right here is something that I have also been loving from testing out from Essence. I know a lot of people have raved about the Essence Lash Princess mascara. I'm just late to the party, but I did want to test out one of their lash primers, and this is the Volume Booster Lash Primer with superfruits. It has acai oil and mango butter infused, and I actually really like this. I feel like it makes the lashes a little bit softer, not so crunchy if you're somebody who adds on like a lot of layers of mascara, aka me, because I have about no eyelashes, if you can't tell. Like, I feel like no matter what mascara I wear sometimes, it barely looks like I have eyelashes unless I put falsies on. And I'm not really someone who wears falsies on a day-to-day basis. That's more of like a special occasion, holiday, or if I'm just really feeling the look. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's move on to some lip products. Got a lot of lip products to talk about because they have a lot, and I cannot test out everything, unfortunately. I have one pair of lips, one face, and none of them like. I did try out the soft contouring lip liners in a couple different shades. I'll go ahead and throw in some swatches right now. These are okay. They're not my favorites. They're a little dry, and they are a wooden pencil, which isn't my favorite just because I feel like retractable pencils seem to be a little bit more creamy and easier to glide on. I will say that the more you use it, the easier it is to apply. It's not as stiff once you really like start using it more and more. But I mean, you're just your average lip liner in my opinion. Nothing super special. They definitely have other great products if you're wanting to try out some Essence products. I also tested out the Instacare lipstick in the shades Romantic Doze and Refreshing Pause. I wanted to try out some red since we're going into the holiday season. I have mixed feelings on these because I think they're good, but they're not my thing, if that makes sense. They're kind of more like a hydrating balm type lipstick. You'll see in the swatches they do have some pigment to them, but it's not like your average matte or cream lipstick. They're kind of more of a balm hydrating, glossy type thing. But they do look good on the lips. Like, I think they look nice on the lips. They're just not what I normally go for. I normally go for either like a dry down matte liquid lipstick or an actual bullet lipstick. But if you're someone who prefers more of like a balm, you just want a little bit of color and you can build it up if you want, then you would really like these. I also tested out the Melted Chrome liquid lipsticks in the shades Aluminum and Sweet Tin. I do like the shade Sweet Tin. I tried it out all over my lips and I don't think that's my thing because of how light it is, but it looks really good when you apply it like in the center and have something else, like maybe just a regular nude lipstick, just kind of brighten up the center, highlight it a little bit. The darker shade isn't, I don't feel like it's as pigmented, but it is really good. I usually go for a darker shade if I'm going for a metallic lip, just because I feel like it looks better when it's like a bold red or burgundy or something like that when you're going for metallic, but that's just my personal opinion. Next is the Shine Wet Look Lip Gloss in the shade Bright On. I really like this. I'm not a super lip gloss type person, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I go for more of like a dry down liquid matte or maybe a bullet lipstick. I usually don't go for a gloss. But if you're someone who's really into glosses, this is not like overly sticky. It's a really nice kind of like glittery, but not like chunky glittery nude. It's like a nice shimmer nude, so it's good to put on top of another nude lipstick or even by itself. I think it looks really good. I also tested out the This Is Nude lipsticks in the shade Freaky and Bold. These are really creamy and really pigmented. I like these a lot. I really want to try out the other like nudish shades they have because they really are all the different types of nudes. Like Bold is more of like a brownish nude and Freaky is more of like a pinky peachish nude, which both are nudes that I tend to gravitate towards on a regular basis. And I've noticed that they last a decently long time. I mean, it is a bullet lipstick, so it's not going to last on your lips forever, especially if you're eating and drinking and whatnot. But they feel really nice in the lips. They don't really bother me when I'm wearing them because I'm not someone who likes to feel like I don't like when I can like feel that there's constantly just like something thick and sitting on your lips, you know what I mean? But these just feel, they glide on, they're nice and creamy. I really like them. And same goes for the Velvet Matte lipsticks. These came in like a little 4 set for the holidays. I really like these as well. I have on the shade Dusty Romance right now. This is kind of like a mauve color. Again, they glide on the lips so nicely. They're like the perfect combination of cream and matte, in my opinion, and I really like the way they feel on the lips. They last a really long time, and I haven't had any issues with them yet. They're pretty pigmented, just a couple swipes and you're good to go. I also tested out the You Better Work Gym Proof Fixing Spray that should be sweat resistant and anti-shine. This does make my makeup last all day long. I really like it. The spray is like, it's just like your basic spritz. It's nice and fine and just goes right all over the face. I did also test out as many of the brushes that I could see on their website in Ulta, starting with their blending sponge. I like this the more that I've used it. When I first opened it and like wet it, it was a little bit stiff, and I will say it's nowhere near as squishy as like the Eco Tools sponge or the Beauty Blender. Like, it's not that squishy, but it's still, I mean, it does a great job. It's definitely not like super stiff or anything like that the more you use it, and I think it's definitely worth the price. I did try out quite a bit of their brushes, as you saw in the section of me applying my eyes and face makeup and whatnot. I really like all the brushes that I've tried by them. They're all really soft. They feel nice and luxurious. The only brush I'm not like the biggest fan of is the flat powder brush, but I just don't like to use it for powder. Like, I don't really use like a flat brush like this on applying powder all over the face, so I might try using this for like contour or something. This might be a good like soft contour brush, so I'll have to let you know about that. But I mean, all their brushes feel nice and soft. The Smoky Eyes brush is definitely more of a stiffer pencil brush, but overall, like, there's some pretty good brushes for the price. I don't think they're the best brushes that you could get, but they do the job, and sometimes that's all you can ask for. Well, that was a lot of products, and I am so sorry if I sped through that. But I will just kind of recap. My favorite products were definitely the Crystal Iced Eyeshadow Palette and the Metallic Chrome Single Shadow. I love their bullet lipsticks. I've really been a big fan of those. I also love the Satin Blush. That's my favorite blush. The other blushes are good too, but definitely the Satin Blush was the one that I recommended the most. Some of the products that were just kind of meh for me, they just aren't really my thing or didn't work well for me. I don't love the way the concealer makes my under eyes feel. I don't like that it makes them burn. Even if it has a nice coverage, I don't think I really want to make my under eyes. Beauty is pain, but maybe let's avoid burning the under eyes. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the liquid liner. It just seems like maybe mine might be drying out or something. I'll have to test it out a little bit more and let you know. I also really loved the Lash Princess mascara that I tried out, and the setting spray and primer. Definitely good ways to prep and set the face for an affordable price. I think it's really important that we try and learn as much as we can about cheaper products, because I really respect companies that can make you a really good product for such a cheap price, because sometimes we think, oh, well, this lipstick is $55, so it must be amazing and way better than those lipsticks that's only $3. Of course, that just makes sense, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes the $55 lipstick is amazing, but sometimes it's not, and sometimes the $3 lipstick is even better. And sometimes this is all you can afford. Sometimes you can only afford a $3 lipstick, a $5 eyeshadow palette, you know, a $2 eyeliner and things like that. So I think it's important to show you that even if it's not the most amazing product you've tried right away, doesn't mean it's not going to work for you, or you can't make it work for you or make it worth the money, because it might be the only thing that you can afford. You may not be able to afford the most expensive eyeshadow palette, but you can still get a good look out of these palettes and out of these products. But anyways, I do think it's really important to really try and work with products and brands of every price point, because we can all afford different things, and just because you can't afford the nicest, newest thing doesn't mean that you don't get to have nice makeup and create some fun looks, you know? Makeup is fun. It's just fun for us all to sit down and play with different products and try new things, and that's why I love it, at least. And at the end of the day, you can wipe it off if you don't like it, or if it didn't work out, or if it's just time to go to bed. Anyways, that completes this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this kind of review of as many products as I could have possibly tried with one face. From Essence Makeup, they're a really good affordable brand. I think they make some really good quality products, especially for the price point. Not everything can be perfect, but all we can ask for is that you put in the best effort. If you like what you saw here today, please subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can also follow me on Instagram at jsanchezbeauty. Hope to see you back here soon. Happy holidays. Go Hokies, if you didn't notice. And have a great day. Bye.